welcome to ICRA IAS. So today we are going to discuss your test number 7, that is the third test in the polity section, and the topic that are covered in this test is state government, state legislature, that is in the state government, that is governor, chief minister, council of ministers, and high court, subordinate court, special provision for some states. Okay, now this is one of the very important topic considering your Indian polity questions in the prelims. So my advice to you people in this particular area to go with facts. You should be memorizing some fact, very important fact that you cannot overlook. Okay, because whatever the concept that you have studied for, you can say, union government, the same concept will apply in the state government, because state is actually a replica of the, you can say, the structure, the function of the union government. There is a bit of a difference in the judicial system, okay, and there are special provisions related to the certain states which comprising in the article, you can say 370 A to H, okay. So it's better you go with that, and little bit there is a little bit special kind of arrangement is given to the tribal areas also, schedule areas also, so you should look at that area, okay. But more or less the council of ministers, their working, the working of the state assemblies, state legislative councils, they more or less same, okay. There are for certain certain, you can say, that how the member are going to elected or not going to elected, who is going to elected, what comprises of this thing. So these are the bit changes, bit extra thing that you need to understand, but this is the factual area. More or less it will be same, like the concept is same, concept will be same, it is actually a replica because we follow the federal structure, so more or less it has a replica. Why we have a replica, there is you can often consider why we have, you might have a question, why we are having a replica when we have a federal structure. So the reason why we have a replica is that it is, by structure it is federal, but you can say in the larger extent, when we see, the state does not have autonomy to have its own constitution. So far there was only one state, Jammu and Kashmir, they were having their own constitution, but it got eventually it got, the status of the statehood has been diminished or dissolved, okay, by in 2019. So right now we do not have any state which has its own constitution for that matter. So that is very important to understand. The reason for the replica, because they want the same coherence in the center and the state. Okay, so let's start with the questions. The more we will read the question, the more we will understand the concept in here. Okay, so if I see the first question, consider the following statement. Indian constitution did not stipulate the governor should be outsider. It is only a convention. Okay, so first statement, only a convention. So actually if we see the position of the governor and how the governor is elected and how the governor is being appointed, not elected, how the governor is being appointed, and what are the qualifications that the constitution has given for the appointment of the governor. The first is, constitution has provided only two qualifications, okay, for the appointment of the governor. The first is, he should be citizen of India. This is the one qualification. And second is with respect to the age, that is, he should be having completed his 35 years of age. Now this is the only two, you can say, the qualification that has been prescribed or mentioned in the provision of the constitution. Apart from this, everything is either a convention, and if it is a convention by, you can say, the ruling government, for a time being we have following this kind of a convention, but convention is broken. Convention is there, it does not have a legal sanctity, so it get broke. So it's okay if it is get broke. There is no violation of any law, unless there is no violation of any law, then it is fine. Okay, now these are the two you should be remembering in your, when you're reading this governor aspect, when you're reading governor in the state legislature, you should remember this two thing only. Apart from any other thing, that is a convention. That has to be clear in your mind. So let's talk. Indian Constitution did not stipulate the governor should be the, did not stipulate that the governor should be an outsider. The governor will be an outsider or it is not, and will be an insider. Constitution is silent on that. It doesn't matter whether it is an insider or an outsider. If some governor get appointed who is an insider, then it's okay, that's fine, no problem. So it's an only convention which has been practiced since the independence or since the existence of the constitution. We are practicing it is a convention. Why? The convention has been upheld because to have a, you can say there is a no power tussle. Actually there is a power tussle, but local government does not engage in the local politics. Okay, or he does not talk much about the state. Actually he or she, the governor, is actually representative of the state, and his job is to inform about the local activity of the state to the union or the president for that matter. That is their essential task, and his essential task is to uphold the constitution. Okay. Second statement. So this statement is actually, you can say this statement is correct. It is a convention, so this statement is correct. It is mandatory. Mandate. Now, word mandatory is a very strong word. Okay, whenever we read polity, the mandatory is kind of a very strong word which generally gives to the slide to the negative side. Might be this statement is wrong. Okay, hardly we find a statement in the UPSC which have such a strong word and it is right. Okay, so it is mandatory as per the constitution that the president is required to consult the chief minister. So according to the constitution does not prescribe such thing. That I have already told you, there are only two criteria that is to be followed by the president while appointing the governor. That is, he should be a citizen of India and he should be completed 35 years of age. Okay, apart from this, there is nothing that is required for the president to say. So it is mandatory, so it is not mandatory. Whether it is done, whether it is not done, it is fine. It was a convention. Generally, it is the recommendation given by the second ARC report, but it is not upheld. That is okay. Okay, so it is being violated often, and it is violated when there is a different ruling party in the state and the center. So such thing happens. So this statement is actually a wrong statement. Okay, so this is a wrong statement. Third is, during his terms of office, governor is immune from any criminal proceeding. Now, governor is immune from criminal proceeding even in respect of his personal act. So basically, governor is actually the privilege. It is a privilege of the governor. It is the privilege is same like a president. The privilege of the governor is no criminal. There is a two kind of a crime that person do. Okay, two kind of offense. Don't use the word crime, we will use the word offense to make it more clear. There are two types of the offense that is made by any person. One is a criminal offense, another is the civil offense. Civil offense is like a land dispute or something like that. Okay, criminal when there is an harm to the body. Okay, so in this case, it is actually given, privilege given by the constitution itself, that even to the president also, that no criminal investigation can be initiated against any person who is a governor and president. This is an immunity that they have. Okay, so generally क्या होता है, जिसके ऊपर जिस political party, one who is in the power, what they do, if any of their political member have facing certain criminal charges of corruption, they are sent to be a governor. Like Pratibha Patil is a classic case. Okay, when she was facing a charge of corruption charge of Commonwealth game, okay, she has made the governor of Kerala just to avoid criminal investigation against her because now she is immune in that. Another is a civil. Now civil can be immune. Civil is not immune, it can be initiated against her. Now this both is actually in their personal capacity. So it can be initiated. So in this case what happened? But they have to provide a notice. Okay, they have to provide a 2-month notice. Okay, that is important. 2-month notice is to be provided. Okay, so then only the civil case has been initiated. You read it. So this statement is actually correct. In his personal capacity, yes. Official capacity में तो कुछ भी उसके nothing can be initiated against her in the official capacity. Okay, because the governor is immune from such official capacity. If some executive is doing their job or done a certain crime, or we can say some criminal corruption charges, अगर किसी PCS officer has done some corruption charge, although he is working in the name of the governor, but he is immune from that. Okay, so the answer to this question is actually A, 1 and 3. Okay. Now next question, currently which of the following state legislature do not have bicameral legislation? So you should understand that how many states do we have bicameral legislation? We have currently 6 states. 6 states is a factual question. Kindly remember this. We have Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. After Andhra Pradesh got bifurcated into Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, they got 2 separate legislature, and Telangana has got this. Okay, legislature, that is the upper house also. Then Maharashtra is there, then UP is there, then Bihar is there, Karnataka is there. Okay, so and UP, Bihar, Karnataka, Maharashtra, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jammu and Kashmir was having that particular upper house, but after the taking away the statehood, it got the entire legislature upper house got dissolved. Okay, so question number 2, Tamil Nadu does not, it was having, but it is got dissolved. So Tamil Nadu is not there, Maharashtra is there, Andhra Pradesh is there, Gujarat is not there. So the answer is 2 and 3. Okay, 2 and 3. Which of the following do not have? Now we have to find do not have a bicam. So answer will be Tamil Nadu and Gujarat, that is 1 and 4, that is B. Okay, so kindly have this in your mind, whether do not जो negative है उसे ध्यान रखो. In whom are the executive power of the state is vested? Kindly remember this is the factual part. Many times people make a mistake. Executive power, the entire executive power in the state is with the governor, and in the center is with the president. Every executive act in the center is done by the president, and every executive act is done in the state is done in the name of governor. Okay, so the answer is governor. Nothing is required. Actually, no explanation. Actually, this directly comes from the article. You can say 154. Okay, 154 article says that the executive power of the state is vested in the governor. Now there is a little controversy related to the real power and the nominal power. That is a functional aspect. Functional aspect को से देखते हैं हम लोग. Nothing about that. Okay. Second is another question is question number 4. State legislature can make a law. Okay, state legislature can make law to enforce. Now state legislature can make a law to enforce which of the following thing? That is fundamental right. No, state legislature cannot make a law to enforce the fundamental right, because under the article 35 in the article 30 the constitution has empowered the parliament to make a law on the enforcement of fundamental right. First thing you need to remember, fundamental right does not require a law to be enforced because it is self-enforceable. Okay, but wherever there is a requirement to widely explain which are the things that is constituted in the fundamental right. Okay, let's take an example of article 17. It just talk about the abolition of untouchability. Now what constitutes untouchability? So we have a law for that. Okay, so that can be done only by the union government. The reason is to have a uniform law throughout the country. Okay, to have a uniform law throughout the country. So this thing you should remember. Okay, so don't get confused. So DPSP, yes, they can implement DPSP. Now somebody will come and say, so DPSP article reservation is a part of that. Government is making a law on the reservation, state governments. That is actually empowered from the DPSP to look after the weaker section of the society. So they take that particular DPSP provision to make a law. Okay. Another is fundamental duties. Yes, they can make a law on the fundamental duties. There is no problem. So the answer will be 2 and 3. We have to find the correct one. Yes, we have to find the correct one. So answer will be 2 and 3, that is D. Okay. Now, question number 5. Question number, which of the following statement is or are correct? Okay, which of the following statement is or are correct? So 6th schedule of the constitution. We have know that 6th schedule is related to scheduled area. Okay, scheduled area, or you can say the tribal area, scheduled tribal area in 4th northeastern state, that is Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Manipur. So in the question number 5A, they have mentioned 4 states. Actually it is for the 4 states. They have to, administration of tribal area, they have given the autonomy in that. Okay, but the state that has been mentioned, that is Assam, is correct. Tripura is correct. Okay, Meghalaya is correct, but it's not Manipur, it's Mizoram. Okay, it's a Mizoram. So kindly remember this, it is a Mizoram, not Manipur. So this statement is wrong. Actually statement is a factual statement, so this statement gets wrong. Now under the article 5, now under the article 6 deals with scheduled tribes. Okay, article 6 deals with scheduled tribes, and article 5 also deals with scheduled tribes which are not there in the schedule 5. So tribal 5 talk about tribal advisory council. Okay, tribal advisory council in the state having the scheduled area. Okay, this board deal with the scheduled area only, consist of 20 members. So according to this, yes, this statement is correct. According to the 5th schedule, there has to be a 20 member, and within that 3/4 of whom should be representative of the scheduled tribes in the state legislative assembly. Now within that, within 20 members, 3/4, that is, you can say 15 members should be the part of legislative assembly in the particular state. Okay, so the statement 2nd is actually correct. Now the 3rd statement, under the 5th schedule, the governor is empowered. Now here governor is not empowered, it is president who is empowered. President can declare any area. Okay? It can increase the size, it can reduce the size of any area in the tribal zone. Okay, but it has to consult with the governor. Okay, consultation of the governor is important. Okay, so this is actually a wrong statement. So only correct statement, we have to find the correct statement. Okay, correct statement. So answer will be 2 is only correct statement. So answer is 2, that is B. Okay, now question number 6. So this is a very important topic for this year 2021 prelims exam, because recently a new amendment has been made to empower to give more power to the, and there is a controversy between the Delhi government and the central government. Okay, they have given more power to the lieutenant governor over here. So this becomes very important question in your important topic in your prelims. Okay, So according to the Article 69 Constitutional Amendment Act, so we have the 69th Constitutional Amendment Act. Union Territory of Delhi has been provided with a legislative assembly, okay, but it has not allowed to make a law on which of the following subject, state subject, okay, fine. So we have to find which are the, now if it is a state, so it has all the power with the, to make a law on the state subjects in the 7th schedule, okay, but it has not full-fledged statehood. It does not have a full-fledged statehood, so there is certain restriction on it. It cannot make a law on public order, police and land. Except this, it can make a law on all the state lists. Apart from the state list, apart from this 3 topic, it can make a law. If it is a state, it can make a law on the concurrent list also. Okay, concurrent list पे भी बना सकता है. It is a state, na, so it can make a law on that also. Okay. So the answer will be 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4 we have, okay, C here, okay. Answer will be C. Now question number 7, consider the following statement with respect to subordinate court. So we have a subordinate court, district and the lower level. So basically we have a, you know, the arrangement is district level, then subordinate court, we have multiple courts over here, and it is quietly different from one state to another state. So there is a little uniformity in that, and you can check it. So judicial magistrate exercise unlimited pecuniary jurisdiction over civil suit. So first statement, that is what we have district court, below that, or session court, below that we have court of subordinate, and another one will be court of chief judicial magistrate. Now this will look after the civil case, okay, and this will look after the criminal case, okay. Kindly remember this. Now this is the core area to remember, okay. Now let's start reading the question. So the chief judicial magistrate, okay, fine, that is chief judicial magistrate who is looking after the criminal cases, exercise unlimited pecuniary jurisdiction over the civil suit. No, it is actually looking after the criminal suit. So this statement is actually wrong, okay. This statement is actually wrong. Now subordinate judges decide the criminal case. Subordinate judges decide the criminal case, which are punishable with the imprisonment of, no, subordinate court does not, they actually decide the civil cases. So this is again is actually incorrect. This should not be a correct statement. This is again an incorrect statement. So because subordinate judge look after not a criminal case but a civil case. So don't, if you know this information, further don't need to read anything over here. The Panchayati court tries both petty and the civil criminal. Yes, it is there because some government has actually empowered, some state government has actually empowered the, you can say this particular panchayats to look after the petty, civil and the criminal cases. Now at the lowest level on the civil side is a court of Munsif. At the lowest level at the civil side, that is a court of Munsif. Now this statement is actually correct. There is a court of Munsif in that, and they look after the civil cases, civil side, okay. So the answer will be C. You have to find the correct one, okay, fine. So answer will be, these two are the correct, C is the answer, okay. Now further discussion, question number 8, assertion and reasoning. So the privilege of the state legislature do not extends to the governor. Yeah, this statement is actually correct. The state legislature has its own privileges to speak freely in the house, okay, but this particular is not, and although the governor is a part of the legislative assembly, but the constitution has provided the certain different privileges and immunities to the governor. It is government is constitution has already mentioned that state legislature, by you can say the core by the you can say rule of procedure, they have certain privileges, okay, but the constitution has not provided that. Okay, so they have the privilege to speak freely in the assembly. So this statement is actually correct. Second is, so the reason is the governor is not an integral partner. This statement is gonna, I already told you the governor is an integral part of the state legislature. Reasoning is wrong. So the answer will be C. A is true, but R is false. Okay. Now consider the following statement. Question number 9. Consider the following statement. Parliament has fixed. Okay. Now he's telling Parliament has fixed the number of strength of the Legislative Council, that is the upper house, under the Representation of People Act 1951. So this statement is actually incorrect, because the Parliament has not fixed the strength of the Legislative Assembly. Constitution has itself fixed the strength of the House, strength of the Legislative Council. Earlier it was, currently it is 1/3 of the strength of the Legislative Assembly. That is the maximum strength. Okay. Earlier it was 1/4. Okay. पहले ये 1/4 था, अभी इसको 1/3 किया है. Now currently is this 1/3, and this is the maximum strength, and the minimum strength is 40. In some case there is exception. सिक्किम में 30 है, ठीक है. So there is a certain exception to that. Sorry, सिक्किम लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल के केस में, असेंबली के केस में 30 है, not in this. Okay, the 40 is actually the minimum strength that is being provided for the, in the case of Legislative Council. Maximum strength the Parliament for Legislative Council. Okay, so it is the statement is actually wrong. It is provided by the Constitution. Some of the members of Legislative Assembly in Manipur and Mizoram are also indirectly elected. Okay? So some of the member of the, you can say Mizoram and Manipur are indirectly elected. Basically this is not the case. The members of Legislative Assembly of Sikkim and Nagaland, okay, that two different states, that is Sikkim and Nagaland. So they are actually indirectly elected. There are some members who are indirectly elected over there. They are basically the tribals people, they are indirectly elected here. So there is no mechanism. Yes, there is no mechanism. The Constitution does not provide any mechanism for the joint sitting of the state legislature. It is always the state legislative assembly will have an upper hand in the legislative, in the formulation of law. Okay, what legislative council can do at the max, they can delay any law for 3 months plus 1 month, and if it is again passed, then it is considered as a pass by the Legislative Assembly, and if it is again passed by the legislature, it will be considered as a pass by the legislature, okay, state legislature. So it is correct. So the answer is C. Now question number 10, consider the following statement. The appellate jurisdiction of the High Court is wider than its original jurisdiction. Appellate jurisdiction of the High Court is wider than its original. Yes, appellate jurisdiction of the High Court is actually a wider, because appellate jurisdiction take the both the cases related to civil or criminal. Okay, civil case भी देखता है और criminal case का appeal भी लेता है. They have taken both the appeals. Writ is basically original jurisdiction is actually a different thing. Original jurisdiction is with the Supreme Court, which is related to, you can say, only the dispute between center and state, interstate and union territories, and the fundamental rights also. Although fundamental right is come into the original jurisdiction, but it has certain limitations as well. Okay, now this jurisdiction, so this statement, the appellate jurisdiction of the High Court is wider than the original jurisdiction. So this statement is actually correct. Second statement, the jurisdiction of the High Court is wider than the Supreme Court. Writ jurisdiction of the High Court is wider than the Supreme Court. Yes, it is wider than the Supreme Court. Okay. The reason is that in Supreme Court only can issue the writ jurisdiction is related to the fundamental right. Okay. But High Court can issue the writ not only in the fundamental right but for any other purpose also. So in this case, this statement is correct that the writ jurisdiction of the High Court is wider than the Supreme Court. Okay. Now the third statement, the expression contempt of court. Expression contempt of court has no concrete definition either in the Constitution or in the legislation. So it is not there in the Constitution. This statement is correct till here, but it is talking about the legislation also. So no, the contempt of court is actually not defined in the Constitution, but it is defined under the Contempt of Court. We have an Act, Contempt of Court Act 1971, and we have defined in this contempt of court. Okay, maybe civil or maybe criminal, both. Okay, so this statement is actually wrong. Till here the statement is correct, but from here the statement gets wrong. So half the statement is correct, half is wrong. So whenever you find in a dilemma whether the half of the statement is correct and half is the wrong, then you should go with the complete statement should correct, either it is wrong. Okay, so the answer for this is D, 1 and 2. The question number 11, consider the following statement about the EWS quota. So we have know that EWS quota is there. So state government are free to decide whether to implement the 10% reservation or not. So this statement is correct because recently the central government has submitted its affidavit in the Supreme Court and said that it is the state government is free whether they want to implement the economically backward or not. So by economically backward, now we have another categories that has been added in the reservation. Now we have, earlier we used to study the reservation is on the basis of the social and educationally backward people. Okay, now we have included one more domain, that is economic as well, the socio-economic and you can say the educationally backward people. Okay, and this reservation is provided not to only one section but to, you can say, general also, the OBCs also. SC and ST, they already have a reservation. Even OBC, one who is not a part of the OBC, in general category. Okay, who is not a part of the OBC, they consider themselves to be the part of the OBC, but they are not. So general is provided to the general categories also. Okay, economically backward. So this statement is actually correct. Okay. Now second statement, 103 Constitutional Amendment Act, Article 15(5) and Article 16(6) in the Constitution to allow the reservation for the EWS among the general category. Okay, among the general category. So this statement is actually correct. Yes, it has inserted the Article 15(6) and Article 16(6). So this statement is also correct. So the answer is C. Now question number 12. Which of the following type of responsibility? Now type of responsibility is enforced in the Constitution by the Constitution and the Council of Ministers. So we know it is a collective responsibility. They swim and sing together. Collectively they are responsible to the, in this case of state, they are responsible to the State Legislative Assembly. Now there is an individual responsibility. Yes, there is an individual responsibility as well, because these both the thing are talked under the Article 75. Okay, in the case of the Rajya Sabha, Union Government. So they have been discussed over here. Okay, so we are actually taking the same, the replica is there. So there is a collective responsibility as well as there is the individual responsibility, that is the individual minister is responsible for the act. Okay, the legal responsibility, so there is no legal responsibility in the case of the Council of Ministers. Okay, So the answer is 1 and 2. D. Okay. Legal responsibility means in the case of Britain there is a legal responsibility where the king basically every minister sign a legal counter, you can say they do a counter signed by the minister on every order of the king. That is, the king is not responsible for this, the minister is legally responsible for the whatever action happens. Okay. So the question number 13, consider the following statement. If any minister disagree with the cabinet decision and is not prepared to defend it, he must resign. Yes, he must resign because there is a collective responsibility and decision of cabinet is actually binding on council of minister. Okay? And any minister disagree with the cabinet. Now they cannot disagree with the cabinet, so they must resign if they are not prepared to defend it. Generally what happens, it is the minister basically the prime minister asks the person to resign. What happens, the prime minister generally asks the person who is, or the chief minister generally asks the person who is in the dissent to resign. So this statement is actually correct in the 13th. This statement is correct. The council of minister is individually responsible to chief minister. No, the council of minister individually responsible not to the chief minister. He is individually responsible to the governor. Okay, किसे responsible है? Governor को. And this governor is basically because the minister hold the office with the pleasure of the governor. In the case of union, pleasure of the president, not in the pleasure of the even the chief minister or the prime minister hold the office till the pleasure of the president. Chief minister also hold the office till the pleasure of the president. But there is a little you can say dilemma in which the court has clear, the Supreme Court has clear. It is true that the chief minister or the prime minister hold the office with the pleasure of the president and governor respectively, but president or the chief minister cannot remove unless and until the prime minister or the chief minister holds the majority in the house. Okay, so it is not responsible. So answer 13, for answer 13 the answer will be A. We have to find a correct one. Okay? The answer is A. Now with reference to the chief minister relation with the council of ministers, consider the following statement. Now we have to see the relations. The governor appoint only those person as a minister who is recommended by the chief minister. Yes, it is correct because governor is bound by the advice of the council of minister headed by the chief minister. Okay, the chief minister can ask a minister to resign. Sorry, chief minister can ask a minister to resign or advise the governor to dismiss him. Yes, this can happen because the governor has to act on the advice given by the chief minister. Generally it is a council of minister. The word council of minister is used, but chief minister is okay. Okay, in that case either it can ask them to resign and advise the governor to dismiss. Okay, so both the statement is actually correct. So the answer is C and we have to find the correct one. The answer is C. Question number 15. Under which of the following circumstances the member of the Legislative Assembly is disqualified? The first, if he hold the office of profit. Yes, if he hold the office of profit, it can be disqualified, except the office that is mentioned or exempted by the respective states. अगर respective states ने उसे exempt किया है या legislature या parliament ने उसे exempt किया, that it is exempted. Otherwise it is stand disqualified. Second, if he fails to disclose any criminal record against him. Yes, this is also a reason. If they fail to provide any criminal disclosure even before or after, Supreme Court has judgmented in 2015 that the court held that every person should provide a criminal record before the returning officer. An election can be nullified if the candidate is not disclosing that. Even the candidate has to disclose that particular criminal record even after found that, even after he is getting elected, then also the person can stand disqualified. Okay. Now third, if he is disqualified under the provision of 10th schedule, so we know defection is a 10th schedule. So if it is disqualified, then it is disqualified. Okay, so the answer will be all the three statements are correct and we have to find the correct code. Okay, correct answer, fine. So answer will be D. Now question number 16, the ordinance making power of the governor is coexistence with the legislative power of the state. Yes, it is coextensive. So under the article 213, the governor has a power to make a law on the matter of the state list and the concurrent list. But there is only one difference in that, and that is the law made by the governor is actually a temporary law. Okay, that is the reason it is known as ordinance. Otherwise, it has all the power which a law made by the legislature will be having the same. Ordinance can be promulgated when the legislative assembly only can be no, the word only has been used when the legislative assembly, there might be a bicameral legislature also. Okay, so it might happen that one is in session, another is not in session, then also they can promulgate it. Now this statement is telling the legislative assembly should not be in the session, but that is half correct. It might happen that both the house are not in session, legislative assembly is also not in. This statement is not fully correct. Ordinance can be promulgated only on the subject on which the state can make a law. Now this is absolutely correct statement. There is no can make a law on that case only. Like I told you, the state legislature has a competence to make a law on the state list and the concurrent list. The governor can promulgate ordinance on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Promulgate advice only. Governor can promulgate ordinance only on the advice of Council of Ministers. That is also correct. An ordinance ceases to operate after the expiry of 6 weeks after the reassembly of state legislature. 6 weeks. This is also correct, but more we have to find the meaning. So more meaningful is B. Consider the following statement. The provision related to the salaries and the allowance is given in the second schedule. So there is nothing given in the second schedule. Second schedule is related not to the salaries and the allowance of the chief minister. Okay. Basically, they are determined by the state legislature. Every state legislature can determine their salary and the allowance. Okay. Now this statement, for that reason, this statement is actually wrong. Okay. So wrong statement. Second, his resignation or death automatically dissolved the Council of Ministers and necessitate the fresh election. Now this is actually a wrong. Zaruri nahi hai, not very important that a new election should be conducted. It might happen that the same election, the same political party where either the chief minister has resigned, or you can say that death of the chief minister happened, the Council of Ministers will dissolve. That is correct. But even the ruling party, the one who are ruling, they can propose a new leader. Now this is what happened very recently in the Uttarakhand, where one particular chief minister has been removed, submit the resignation, and center, the same ruling party in the center and the state, the center has given a new leader to the, presented a new leader in front of the chief minister, governor, and they have found, and that particular person has formed the government. Okay. So necessity of fresh election will happen. Fresh election will happen only when there is no one to claim to form the government. Okay. So this statement is actually wrong. 17th will be the D. We have to find the correct. Okay. D. Question number 18. with respect to the power of the High Court, consider the following statement. Now we are talking about High Court. It must confirm the death sentence awarded by the subordinate court even if it is not appealed. So this statement is correct. Yes, it has to, you can say the subordinate court needs to consult whenever subordinate court want to give a capital punishment or the death penalty to any person, okay, because the High Court is a court of record. So in that case they have to consult the High Court. So the statement is correct in this category. Second is, it has the power to review and correct its own judgment. Yes, review power is there with the you can say the High Court, okay. So both the power is there. So the answer will be, we have to find the correct one, okay. Answer is C, okay. Question number 19, with reference to the Finance Commission, State Finance Commission, which of the following statement is correct? The governor constitute, yes, the governor constitute under the Article 243I. Under the Article 243I, the governor is empowered to to constitute a finance commission at once in 5 years, okay. Yes, it is once in 5 years. Mandatory maximum duration is 5 years, or else it can constitute before also. So this is in Constitutional Amendment Act 72, okay. Now it reviews the distribution of revenue between state and local government. Now what the Finance Commission does? Finance Commission look after how the revenues is going to be shared. First is between states and local government and rural and urban area also, okay. So what they do, they basically talk about the revenue sharing model between state and local and rural and urban, okay. How much should we go to the rural and urban? They submit the report to the governor, okay. The state and the rural government, yes, this is correct. Yes, this is also correct. So the answer is C, and we have to, okay, we find the correct state. The answer is C. Now question number 20, who among the following can be the electors, okay, the person who is going to elect in the election to the Legislative Council of the state. Now Legislative Council of the state election is, it's a bit tricky, so you kindly remember that. So basically 5/6 is actually elected indirectly, and 1/6 is actually nominated by the governor, okay. Nominated people from basically अलग उसमें literature, okay, science, arts, cooperative societies and social service, okay. 1, 2, 3, science, arts, social services and cooperative society, and the elected. So it is an indirect election. So who can participate? So in the 1/5, basically 1/3 will be elected by the local bodies, okay. That is, local bodies will be electing 1/3 of the people, okay. Like municipalities, yes, it is correct. Member of municipalities, member of district board, okay. Respective state will decide that, okay. Now who are going to be a part of it? Second is 1/12 are elected by the graduates, okay. The graduates who are graduates of the states, that is 3-year graduation, those who are having a 3-year graduation, they will participate to elect a person who is residing within the state. 1/12. Apart from this, 1/12 also plus 1/12 also will be elected by the teachers of secondary school, टीचर्स ऑफ सेकेंडरी स्कूल, ठीक है. टीचर्स ऑफ सेकेंडरी स्कूल विल बी participating in electing the legislative council, and rest one third will be elected by the legislative assembly. Okay, one third will be elected by legislative assembly. So municipalities yes, district board yes, primary school teacher no, so secondary school teacher. MLAs of the state yes, because one third is MLA. Okay, member MPs of the state no, they are not the part, and we have to find the correct answer. So the answer will be 1, 2 and 4. Okay, the answer is A. Now question number 21. Let's talk about question number 21. Transfer of the judges from one high court to another high court is done by whom? It is done by, basically it is a very simple statement, and it is done by the president after consulting the Chief Justice of India. So president can transfer one you can say judges from the one high court to the another high court, and after the consultation of the Chief Justice of India. So this is the factual part that you need to remember. There is no concept over here. So factually you remember, okay, it can be done. Question number 22. If the Legislative Council rejects a bill passed by the Legislative Assembly, like I have told you, they can reject the bill. There is no provision of the sitting council, sitting joint assembly का कोई provision नहीं है. Okay, the bill end and become dead if they reject the bill. No, the bill is not ended or dead. Actually the bill is actually moved if the bill is rejected. If the Legislative Assembly pass the bill again, the same bill, then it is deemed to be passed. So the answer will be C. So answer will be C. The Legislative Assembly can pass the bill second time to override the Legislative Council. So answer is C. Question number 23. Consider the following statements with regard to the state legislature in India. The Speaker of the Legislative Assembly decides whether the bill is a money bill or not. Yes. Kindly remember, the Speaker in the state and the Speaker in the center Parliament, they both decides, and they are the final interpreter of the Constitution in the legislature. Kindly remember this, note it down somewhere wherever you like. They are the final interpreter of the Constitution. Okay. Apart from that, they are the highest authority to declare whether the bill is a money bill or not. Okay, and there is no question on that whether the money bill or it is not a money bill. The money bill cannot be introduced in the Legislative Council. Yes, it cannot be introduced in the Legislative Council because they don't have any work with the money bill. Okay, so both the statement is actually correct. So and we have to find the correct statement. The answer is C. Okay. Question number 24. Consider which of the following statement regarding Chief Minister is not correct. Now we have to find not correct statement. He has to undertake the additional oath of secrecy. Additional oath of secrecy, which is similar to that of other state minister. Yes, like a minister, he take a oath of secrecy also. There is no problem in that. Okay. So this statement is actually correct. This cannot be our answer. He may be a member of any of the two houses of the state legislature. Yeah, it can be a member of any of the two houses of the legislature. Generally, basically they are the member. They come from the upper house. Like we have a chief minister in UP. He is from the upper house, and chief minister of Maharashtra is also from the upper house. So there was a convention. It can happen the same what we have in the Rajya Sabha in the case of the union government. Third statement, so the second statement cannot be right because the statement itself is correct, cannot be our option. He hold the office during the pleasure of the president. Yes, he hold the office till the pleasure of the president. He hold the office till the pleasure of the president. This statement is actually correct. He hold the office till the pleasure of the president, but in S.R. Bomai case, in 1994, very important case, kindly remember this case. This case is very important for president rule also. Okay, article 356. Now in this case, the Supreme Court has judgmented that governor can dismiss him, that is correct, but cannot dismiss him anytime till the time they are having the majority in the Legislative Assembly. So they cannot dismiss it. He hold the office during the pleasure of the President. This statement is correct. But the pleasure of the President over here is not a pleasure of the President, sorry, he hold the office till the pleasure of the President, the word is been used. So it is not President, but it is a governor. And they hold the office till the pleasure of the governor, not a president over here. And the word governor, actually pleasure, the word pleasure is actually signifies the confidence that he hold in the Legislative Assembly. It is in the coherence. It is not a discretionary pleasure of the governor. Okay. So the answer will be C. This is the wrong statement. Now with question number 25, with respect to the service condition, judges of the High Court, now who consider the following statement. Service condition. He subscribed oath before the President. No, it is not President, it is Governor prescribed the oath for the judges of the High Court. He can resign from the office by writing to the Governor. No, it is not Governor, it is President. It is a factual part, kindly read. Okay. So both the statement is actually wrong and we have to find the correct statement. So the answer will be D. Okay, for question number 25. Now question number 26. We have to find the local government is where it is in the state list. So there is no fighting in that. It is in the state list. Articles 73 and 74 implementation is the responsibility of the state government to provide a effective law to make the local bodies more effective, more functioning. Okay. Question number 27. Consider the following statement. Consider the following statement with regard to the Council of Ministers. We have to see the Council of Ministers. The strength of the Council of Ministers cannot exceed 10%. It is not 10%, it is 15%. Okay. It is set to 15% by Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, 91st Constitutional Amendment Act, we have fixed it to 15%. 15% of what? 15% of the total strength of the House. Either it is a Legislative Assembly, it is a Legislative Council. Sorry, Legislative Assembly, it is related to the Legislative Assembly and the Lok Sabha. Okay, whatever the strength of the Lok Sabha is, whatever the strength of the Legislative Assembly is, it should not increase more than 15%. Now, why this has came? Because there was a lot of ministers to gain the coalition government era, it was there. So to gain a more political parties to form a government, they deliberately create a new ministry. So it create a bottleneck and it slow down the works of the executive. Okay, so it has been locked to 15%. So this statement is actually wrong. This statement is wrong. Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. Council of Ministers is actually responsible to the Lok Sabha. This is a correct statement because we are here, the question asks only for the Council of Ministers, not a state Council of Ministers. So kindly remember this. The word state has not been used because the Council of Ministers is there in the center also. And the word Lok Sabha over here is used, it is correct. So the answer will be B. And we have to, okay. The answer will be B. Question number 28. Governor of the state can nominate which of the following member? So we have already seen governor can nominate which of the following, 1/6 of the member of the state legislative council, yes, they can nominate. Second, one member to the state legislative council from the Anglo-Indian community, yes, it is there under the article 333, but this nomination has been abolished by 104 Constitutional Amendment Act in 2020 by 2020 104 the Anglo-Indian reservation or nomination is actually abolished. Nominated member, now we do not have a nominated member in the either in the center or in the state. The chairperson of district planning committee, no. We have a manner of election, they are actually elected, and this manner of election is decided by state government by a law. Okay? State government through a law will decide on this. So this statement is actually chairperson no, they are not nominated. Okay, so this statement is actually wrong, and this is also wrong. So the correct answer is A, 1. Okay. Question number 29. Okay, actually district planning committee is there in 243 ZD. Okay, under the article Constitutional Amendment Act 74. Okay, the term cabinet, kindly remember the term cabinet only used once in the entire constitution, and that is not in the DPSP, not in the preamble, not in the fundamental right, but it is in the provision of national emergency under the article 352. Okay, under the article 352, which has been included by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, so kindly remember this. Question number 30. In India, the subordinate court enjoys what? Subordinate courts enjoys civil jurisdiction, yes. Criminal jurisdiction, yes. Revenue jurisdiction, yes. All the jurisdiction they are enjoyed by all the jurisdiction. Okay, so we have already seen that question, similar question beforehand in the previous questions. Now question number 31, which of the following items come under the state list? Okay, so we have to see the state list. So how many subjects are there currently in the state list? So right now we have 52 subjects in the, not 52, but 61 subjects. 61 subjects in the state list, which was earlier 66 subjects originally. Okay, originally. Education is actually earlier it was in the state list, but it was transferred to the concurrent list, so it is not there. Trade union is actually a part of a, you can say, concurrent list. Liquor, yes, for human consumption it is in the state list. Now banking is actually, banking cannot be in the state list, logically understand, it is in the basically banking is a part of a union list. So we have a similar banking system, so we have a union list in that. So it is in the union list. Trade and commerce in the raw cotton, it is in the trade and commerce in the raw cotton. Okay, the trade and commerce is actually in any aspect will be in the union list because it is a interstate trade matter. Okay, so it will be on the always in the union list. So the answer for this is also wrong, so answer is only 3, the option A. Okay. Now question number 32, with reference to the pardoning power. Now we have to discuss the pardoning power of the president and the governor. Now you remember one thing in this. Okay, the two information is very important to remember and remember it very effectively. Okay, first is death penalty cannot be pardoned by the governor. First thing. What? Death penalty cannot be pardoned by the governor. It can be pardoned only by the president. First. Second is any pardoning power is related to the court martial. It is only with the president because he is the commander in chief of the armed forces. Okay, what is he? He is the commander in chief of the armed forces. So kindly remember this. This two information is very important in this topic. Okay, now let's see the question. First question, the president can grant pardon in the case where the punishment or the sentence is by the court martial, whereas governor cannot. So we have seen that president can grant a pardon, court martial. That is the reason the president domain of pardoning is broader as compared to the governor. Okay, so there's two information that you need to remember in this topic. So this statement is correct. Second, president can grant a pardon in all the cases where the sentence is given is a sentence of death, but the pardoning power of the governor does not extend to the death sentence. Okay, so we have already discussed this. These are the very two important information which has came in the form of the question. Okay, so these two information kindly remember always whenever you are reading this. Do not forget this two information. Okay, so both the statement is actually correct. Let's see, we have to find the correct statement or wrong. Okay, we have to find the correct statement, so the answer will be C. Now question number 33, which of the following does not fall within the supervisory power? Now supervisory power, we are talking about the High Court. Let's see, supervisory power to call for the report from the subordinate court under its jurisdiction does not fall. No? It does not fall, yet it falls. Court of record that we have seen. In the case of court of record, it can call for the reports from the subordinate court. Second, to make, so this cannot be our option. We have to find the wrong one. To make the general rules, okay, and prescribe form for regulating the practices and proceedings to the lower court. Yeah, they can make a rule. Actually, they make the rule how the lower court is going to function. Every state high court has the authority and the function to make a law, what kind of a and how their local court is going to function. In that, central government or Supreme Court does not interfere. It is jurisdiction of the High Court. Okay, to settle the battle of fees to be allowed to sheriff and other practices before this. Yes, they will settle all the fees. What are the charges they are going to get, and they also talk about the other expenses, other administrative activities. The state government also appoints the district judges with the consultation from the state chief justice of High Court. Okay, so these are come into the domain of the High Court. Okay, supervisory domain. To supervise the working of the tribunal. Now tribunal is actually exempted. Always remember. Okay, the tribunal and the military court is actually exempted from the supervision of the High Court. Okay, so this is basically a wrong one, so this will be our answer. Okay, 34, which of the following provision of the Constitution of India need a ratification in the legislature not less than 1/2 of the state? So it is talking about the ratification. So you please remember, when we are talking about the ratification, we will take a ratification whenever there is an infringement or it has an impact on the federal structure. एक ही चीज़ है. There is only one thing you need to remember, that is the federal structure. Now federal structure means wherever there is a say of the government, of the state government also. In that case, the state should be consulted properly. Okay, now let's see the question. The extent of legislative power. Now it is talking about the increase or decrease of the legislative power of this union and the state. The legislative power of the union and the state is mentioned in where? 7th schedule. Okay? So 7th schedule is actually a form, it is actually an arrangement in the federal structure. So it has to be consulted. Okay, so this statement is actually correct. Second statement, power of the Supreme Court and the High Court. Yes, the power of the Supreme Court and the High Court, if there is a increase in the power of the Supreme Court and the High Court, then it must consult. Okay, this is also correct. Second, because it is also an infringement, although it is an integrated judiciary, but High Court has a so in the case of the High Court, the state government has a say. Now, acquisition of new territory by the government of India. Now it is a national matter. A national matter, state does not have any role to play. So we have a treaty with the Bangladesh where we have shared the enclaves. Okay, so this is basically not required from the consultation, or you can say ratification from the state government. So the answer will be 1 and 2, that is A. Okay. Question number 35, which of the following constitutional provision has a bearing allowing the transfer of resources from the center to the state? Now, which are the provision that we are talking about? Article 275, yes, statutory grant of the revenue. Statutory grant means grant by a law. Okay. Then a grant on any public purpose, 282. Basically, this is done by the on the recommendation of the Finance Commission of India. Okay. So there are two kind of a grant. One is a general, one is a specific. So both are done on the recommendation of the Finance Commission, and these are done. Yes, it is there. Transfer of resources is there. Then there is a loan for the public purposes. Yes, under the Article 293. They can give the loan, either the state will give the loan or the center will give the loan. Both are empowered to give the loan to each other. Even one state can give a loan to another state also. This can also happen. Okay. So the third statement is also correct. So we have all the three statement is correct, and we have to find the correct answer. Okay, the answer will be D. Now question number 36, State Reorganization Act, very important, kindly remember, was an important federal landmark in the political history of India. Okay. In this context, consider the following statement. Okay. First statement, it creates state and union territories based on the administrative convenience. Yes, it is based on the administrative convenience. Linguistic, yes, and the regional consideration is also there. There are other aspects also, like unity and security of the country is another aspect. Then finance, economic and administrative consideration is also there. Planning and promotion of welfare of the people is also a criteria over here. Okay, for the reorganization. So this statement is actually correct. Second statement, it was passed in Indian Parliament as a no, it is not passed as a Constitutional Amendment Act. So this is wrong. Basically, there was a you can say the Constitution has provided the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act, and with this 7th Constitutional Amendment Act, at the time of independence, we were having a categorization of state in the A, B, C and D. Okay. Actually, this has been abolished by 7th Constitutional Amendment. Now, when we abolish this arrangement in the year 1956, okay, same 7th Constitutional Amendment Act on the same year 1956. So when we abolish the categorization of the state into A, B and C, A, B, C and D, then it paved the way, it given the way to implement the recommendation given by the commission. Okay, the State Reorganization Commission. So we have done that. So first statement is wrong, right, second is wrong, and we have to find the correct statement. The answer is A, 36. Okay. Question number 37, it is a constitutional duty of the union government to protect the state against the external aggression and the internal disturbance. Yes, under the Article 352 in national emergency areas. Okay. Whenever there is external aggression, they have to protect it. So the answer is, statement is correct. Second statement, the president has to declare that the power of the legislature of the state shall be exercised by the parliament when the constitutional machinery in the states fail. Yes, it is related to the Article 356. The parliament either will provide, now kindly remember this, okay, do not forget this. whenever there is a precedent rule in the state under Article 356, whenever there is a constitutional breakdown, the entire legislative and the executive power, executive power goes in the hand of the president. Now it is upon the president where it is going to give the power. Either it is going to give the power to the legislator or somebody else can do that. Okay, so it has to be prescribed by the president that who is going to exercise power of the legislature of the state. So who is going to make the law on the state subject? The parliament is going to make a law on the state subject, and the union or the executive function will be done by the union executive. Okay, so in the case this statement is also correct, so the answer will be C, and we have to find the correct statement. Yes. Question number 38, in Indian context, consider the following statement. So we have a zonal council. So we have a 5 zonal council. Okay, the zonal council is neither a statutory body nor a constitutional. No, actually it is not a constitutional body because it is not created, not mentioned in the constitution, but it is a statutory body because it is created by State Reorganization Commission of 1956. Okay, so in that case it is a statutory body. Now each Chief Minister of India act as the chairman of councils by upholding the office for 1 year. Actually they are not a chairman, they are the, you can say, the deputy chairman, and the chairman is actually the Central Home Minister. Central Home Minister, and the state occupies the seat for 1 year, Chief Minister occupies the seat for 1 year in the respective zones, that we have 5 zones, and north, west, east, south and center. Okay, so this is also there. So first statement is wrong, second statement is also wrong. So both the statement is wrong and we have to find the correct statement. So the answer will be D. Neither 1 is right, neither 2 is right. Question number 39, with reference to the state cabinet. Now state cabinet, we are talking about cabinet committee. State cabinet committee, consider the following statement. So they are set up by Chief Minister. Yes, it is a cabinet committee, then it will be set up by the Chief Minister. That is, the statement is correct. We are not talking about the legislative committees. ठीक है, legislative committees की बात हम नहीं कर रहे हैं स्टेट की, जैसे कि parliamentary committees है. We are talking about what? We are talking about the committees of the cabinet committee, and cabinet is an executive part, so it will be constituted by the Chief Minister. Consultation does not provide their numbers. Yes, sorry, Constitution does not provide their number. Yes, this is correct. Constitution does not provide for anything. Okay, kindly remember this. Constitution does not provide anything. It is a discretion on the ruling government how many committees they want to have. Okay, then the Council of Ministers can review their decision. Can review their decision. Council of Ministers, yes, they can review their decision. Council of Ministers, no. Council of Ministers cannot review their decision of the cabinet. Council of Ministers is just to follow the decision of the cabinet. Their only job is to follow, nothing else. They do not actually have effective control on the cabinet. Cabinet is very powerful in the parliamentary democracy. So the first statement is correct. Second, does not provide for the, yes, this is also a correct statement. And the Council of Ministers can review the decision. No, they cannot. So the answer is B, 1 and 2 to find the correct. Okay. Question number 40, which of the following ruling of the Supreme Court of India or the High Courts were meant to uphold the fundamental rights? Okay, so it was much in news that allows the Sabrimala entry. Okay, this is being said that it is a violation of Article 14 and Article 21 by the Supreme Court. Okay, and the case was it was judgmented in 2018 in the case of Young India Lawyer Association versus state of Kerala. The Supreme Court has judgmented that there is a violation of Article 14 and 21. So, because there was effective restriction in the entry by the women between the age of 15 to 59. Okay. So, but it has been overruled and there is still a tussle on this. Okay. So, this is correct. Decriminalization of adultery this is also correct, because Supreme Court in 2018 in a case of Joseph Shine in 2018, the Supreme Court has struck down two important section. One section from section 497 from IPC, it has been struck down, and section 198, I guess, section 198, if I'm not wrong, from the CRPC. You kindly check this section 198 or 178. I'm confused. 178. Okay, kindly check either of this in CRPC. This has been nullified, both that, and Supreme Court said in the adultery case, Article 14 and 21 is actually a violation of both. Although there is a review petition was there in the by the Ministry of Defence to remove the people from the defence to be a part of it. Okay, so the answer will be, both the statements correct and we have to find the correct statement. So the answer will be C. Question number 41, consider the following statement. So we have already seen that zonal council is a constitutional board, constitutionally mandate to achieve an emotional integrity, okay, of the country. Constitutionally mandate नहीं है, स्टेट्यूटरी है, ठीक है, अभी हमने देखा था इससे पहले भी, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली कोई मैंडेट नहीं है उसके पास में, वो तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी ही नहीं है वो. हाँ, स्टेट्यूटरी एसआर सेकंड स्टेट रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन कमीशन के हिसाब से दे हैव टू मेंटेन द इंटीग्रिटी. The interstate council has exclusive jurisdiction in deciding the issue related to the interstate. Now, interstate council is basically created under the Article 263, okay, and it is telling that it is a exclusive jurisdiction in deciding the issue related to the interstate, center state and center and union. No, actually these are the original jurisdiction of Supreme Court. These are the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, not exclusive of this. Although interstate council has participating in or extra legal issues between the center and state, interstate or center and union territories. Okay, but the problem is, whatever they are, only the advisory body. What they are the advisory body. Okay, nothing more than that, advisory body. Now, so second statement is also wrong. Second statement is also wrong, and we have to find which of the following statements given are incorrect. So first one is wrong, second one is wrong. So the answer will be C, because both the question is correct, incorrect, and we have to find the incorrect question. Now, question number 42. When the Chief Justice of India, Chief Justice of the High Court in India act in its administrative capacity. It's talking about administrative capacity, not a judicial capacity. Judicial capacity is different. He is subjected to which of the following? What are the limitations on that? Jurisdiction of any other high court. When he is acting in the administrative capacity, then it has to follow within the jurisdiction of the other high court also. It is bound by that. Special control exercised by the, no, there is no special, because he is not acting at judicial capacity but an administrative capacity. Discretionary power of the President of India. So no discretionary power is actually applicable over here. Last is writ jurisdiction of the High Court of which he is a judge. No, where he is a judge, writ jurisdiction does not apply on him. So the answer will be A. Now question number 43, with reference to the term of the governor office in Indian state, okay. Which of the following statement is correct? We have to find the correct statement. The governor has no security of tenure and no fixed term. Yes, the governor has no security of tenure and there is no fixed tenure also. The constitution has prescribed 5 year as a term, okay? But 5 year is actually a maximum, not a very maximum term, but it is not fixed. They can be removed by the president anytime. Okay, second is, so this statement is actually correct. Second is, the constitution does not lay down any ground. No, constitution does not lay down any ground which can be removed by the president. Does the constitution does not provide any ground? Yes, it is true, because they act as a pleasure of the president, okay. And in BP single case versus Union of India in 2010, okay, Union of India in 2010, where it is said that whatever the pleasure of president will be there, it will be subjected to judicial review. Supreme Court said it will be subjected to judicial, cannot remove them discretionally. So this statement is also correct. Third is, the Supreme Court has held that the pleasure of president in the removal of the governor is subject to judicial review. So we have seen this, they are subjected to judicial review, okay. So the third one is also correct, and we have to find the correct answer. The option D is the correct. Now question number 44, in the context of function of the integrated judiciary in India. Now we are talking about the function of integrated judiciary. Which of the following has been assigned the power of judicial review? Okay, we have an integrated judiciary, and who are the authority who has the judicial review authority, or the institution which have a judicial review authority? One is the Supreme Court, another one is the High Court. This is the factual part. Kindly remember, Supreme Court, High Court के पास ही है खाली, only they have you can say 1 and 2 complete judicial power, judicial review power. So the answer is B, 1 and 2. Lower court के पास में कुछ भी नहीं है, फायदा नहीं है, there is no point discussing that. Question number 45, in India the minister at the state, minister at the state level continues in the office till he enjoys the confidence of the chief minister. Yes, it is true. Till the time he enjoys the confidence of the chief minister, he remain in the office. If there is a difference of opinion, then tata and goodbye by the chief minister. Okay. Now the reason, let's see the reason. This is the statement that has been said. Let's talk about the reason. The chief minister of the state concerned can ask the minister to resign or advise the governor to dismiss him in the case of difference of opinion. So this is what I said. If there is, we made the assertion, now we are giving the argument, because this is the argument. They can be removed by the governor on the advice of the chief minister. Okay, so this statement is actually correct, and it is the correct explanation. So the answer is A. Question number 46, with reference to the High Court judge in India, consider the following statement. Now we have to talk about the High Court judge. Okay, the person who held the office as the permanent judge of the High Court can plea or act in the capacity, or act in any capacity in the Supreme Court only. It is not Supreme Court only, it is actually they can practice in another High Court also, but not in the same court. Okay, so this statement is actually wrong. Second statement, a person holding a judicial office in India for at least 7 years is disqualified for the appointment. No, it is not 7 years, it is actually 10 years. Either they hold the office in the judicial capacity in any part of India, okay, either in the center or in the state, or they are a practicing lawyer for 10 years. If it is not from one state, it can be from the multiple state in the consecutive term. Okay, so this statement is also wrong. Okay, so it is basically 10 years. So the answer is D over here, 46. 47, with reference to the difference between the Constitution of Supreme Court and the High Court. Now we have to see the differences. The judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the president. Yes, they are appointed by the president, while the judges of the High Court are appointed by the, no, they are also appointed by the president. So kindly remember this, they are appointed by the president. The statement is wrong. Judges of the Supreme Court can be impeached by the parliament. Yes, they can impeach by the parliament, while the judges of the High Court can be impeached by the legislative assembly. No, they can be impeached by the, not legislative assembly, but they can be impeached by the parliament only. So second statement is also wrong. Okay. Third statement, the territorial jurisdiction of the Supreme Court extended all over India. Yeah, that is true, because we have only one Supreme Court, and whatever happened in his nation, wherever his nation goes, they have the jurisdiction. Okay, now let's talk about the another part. While the territory's jurisdiction of the High Court is coterminous with the territory of the Indian concern. Okay, Indian concern. So in this case, first statement is wrong. Yes, it is coterminous with the existing of territories of the state. Okay, along with this, the parliament by law can make to be a part of two court, two different states, they can be a part. Okay, so the statement 1 is wrong, second is wrong, third is right, and we have to find the correct statement. So answer is C. Question number 48, with reference to the special provision for the Sikkims in India, consider the following statement. So basically we all know Sikkim is 22nd country in the 22nd states, not country, 22nd states in India, and basically this Sikkim is actually incorporated in India by 36th Constitutional Amendment Act in 1975. क्या है 1975 के अंदर they are coming. Okay, so according the maximum strength of Sikkim Legislative Assembly should be 30. So this is basically a correct statement, because it is provided by 36th Constitutional Amendment Act 30. Okay, now another statement, the president can extend any law to Sikkim which is in force in the state of the Indian Union. So it can extend any law which has been practiced by some states in the Sikkim. So the answer for this is both the statement is correct. The answer will be C. Now let's talk about question number 49. Consider the following pairs. Now we have to see the following pairs, and it is related to Judicial Council, okay, and the respective states, whether this state falls into that or not. Northern Council, Rajasthan falls into it. Yes, Rajasthan falls into it. Central Council, Uttarakhand. Yes, Uttarakhand also falls in the central. Eastern Zone Council, no. Actually, in this case, what happened in 2002? Okay, in 2002, Sikkim has been incorporated into Northeast Council, and Northeast Council is a different council, Northeast Council. Okay, now this Northeast Council has been created by Northeast Council Act of 1972. Okay, and in 2002, the Sikkim has been excluded as a member of Eastern Zone. पहले ईस्टर्न जोन के मेंबर थे पर अब नहीं है, 2200 से चेंज किया गया है. सो दिस कैन नॉट बी आवर ऑप्शन. This cannot be our option. Then Western Council Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh is not western, we can see it from the map, it is a central. So this is also wrong. Southern Council Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh, correct. So the answer for 49 is actually, and we have to find not correctly matched. Not correctly matched. So the answer is 3 and 4, that is C. Okay, answer is C, 49. Your discussion, this one, your test thing is actually not given over there. They have, explanation, test explanation, they have not provided about the that is actually fact need to be considered, because formalization has been done, only shifting is remaining. With respect to High Court, okay, the President has which of the following power? Now, President has the following power with respect to the High Court. It decides the matter of dispute to the ages of the judges of the High Court. Does it so? So, in the article 217, the Constitution has actually empowered the judges of the High Court are to be appointed by the President. That is, we have seen in the article 217, and the consultation has to be there with the Chief Justice of India or the Governor of State, respective state. And in that case, in article 217 clause 3, 217 clause 3. So what will happen in this? If the age of judges is to be decided, it has to be decided by the President. Who will decide it? President will decide it, and after the consultation from the Chief Justice of India. Whom he will consult? Chief Justice of India. Now, exclude the jurisdiction of the High Court from the union, from any union territories. Okay, so this is the federal part, and extension of the jurisdiction and the removal of the jurisdiction is done by the Parliament. Determine the strength of the High Court. Who determines the strength of the High Court? The Constitution under the article 216, okay, 216 said that it is decided by the President under the article 216, and it is a discretionary power of the President. So this is basically correct, and this is also correct, and this is not correct. It is done by the Parliament. We have seen that jurisdiction wala part. Okay, the 1 and 3 is the correct answer, and we have to find the correct. So A and B. So thank you very much for your time and patience. I hope you have learned a new thing, how to handle the MCQ paper. Okay, so be confident. We'll see you in the next paper. Thank you.